Don't panic, Stephen Hawking did not get a perm. Are we having a good time? For anyone who said no, this is only a recording, so I don't give a shit. I can see your confusion. This is probably the first time you have met a quiet queer person in your lives. I can imagine for you it must be like watching Tyra Banks deep-throating a Big Mac. But in the absence of speech, I just have to rub amphetamines into my gums to keep up with the conversation. The trouble I have recording material is that Google changes the voice on this phone more often than Katie Price changes boyfriends. Yet no matter how many updates they do, it still just makes this sound like 50 shades of passive-aggressive. With any luck, this will be one of the funniest things to come from the disabled community since the Cornish accent. This can be quite a cool condition to have at times. I could glass someone in a pub for no reason, and still have people call me brave just for leaving the house. I can pick up men in a bar just by flashing my blue badges across the table, and saying, "You can park anywhere." It's one of the many delights of being part of the blue badge mafia. I can park in driveways, I can park on yellow lines, I will mow down your children. Why? Because I have a fucking blue badge. If you do decide to throw things at me in disgust, just make sure it's nothing that will clog up my mobility scooter's wheels, as I've got to drunk drive after this gig. Isn't she fabulous? Her full name is Barbara the Cripple Carriage. To you she is to be addressed as Miss Carriage. Thank goodness I'm not medically allowed to drive a car. All the florists would be sponsoring me with the amount of accident black spots I would be leaving in my wake around the countryside. We never think about this, but florists really do profit off of our grieving. No matter what age we're in, there are always posh twats at funerals too stuck up to grab flowers from a petrol station. I didn't even do that for my own dad. Best he got was insults written in Sharpie on his cardboard coffin, before going into the oven. Think of it, you've just lost a loved one to whatever tragedy you can think of. And all florists have to say is, sorry for your loss. That'll be 100 quid. I would kill to get away with that for my disability in public. Start charging for conversations under the guise of giving to charity. But which charity would even begin to cover my degeneration? I don't even know which boxes to tick on a hate crime form. Thanks to the tremors in my hands, there are many things that aren't a good idea for me to attempt often. For example, if you received a birthday card from me, you would think it was written by a seismometer. The same goes for people who have been stupid enough to hand their phone to me so I can take a picture. With shakes like mine, you may as well be getting a smear test from Bob Ross. What's happened is that my brain still remembers how to talk. But due to my neurological disorder, it's decided to take the lake house route to my mouth. So essentially, I'm a Windows update with a pulse. The ultimate irony in all of this is people assuming if you are non-verbal, you are mentally incompetent. Are you fucking kidding me? Have you people heard the shit that comes flying out of your mouths on a daily basis? Thanks to speech therapy, I can now make vegetative sounds like ooh and ah. But I think the only reason my therapist called it that was so she could get a vegetable into my mouth without having to unplug their life support first. Cheers for having me. I've been Alex Gibbon. And this has been convenient.